Thank you, Judy, for that glowing introduction. What you just heard is kind of a hodgepodge. They had asked me to put together a bio, and I took a piece of my resume and threw it in there. I did it real quickly and put some stuff on Toastmasters about it, and it kind of started circulating. So I need to cut it down. So anyway, Judy did a great job of weeding through a full page of information and making it into a clear and succinct introduction. Hey, good afternoon, CSX. What's happening?
How are you?
All right. I want to spend about 6 to 8 minutes, no more. Timer, you got me on the clock? All right. No more. Just talking to you a little bit about what's going on in the area and just sharing some of my personal vision as area governor with you this afternoon. How many of you have ever heard of the Pareto principle? By show of hands. Okay, if you haven't, the Pareto principle is also known as the 80-20 rule. This rule states, or it's also known as the law of the vital few. Some of you may have heard it mentioned that way. It states that for many events, like Toastmasters, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. To put it in layman's terms, for any event, it's 20% of the people who do 80% of the work. Okay, and we found that to be true in Toastmasters. As you go around and get out of your own club and go club to club, or you go out into the area level, you start to see the same faces over and over and over again. At the College of Knowledge, one of the facilitators said this weekend, he said, one of the comments of feedback that we always get is, we want to see new faces. We're tired of seeing the same faces on the stage doing the same thing all the time. He said, well, that's up to you. That's up to you to be one of those new faces that comes up. So I want you to keep this in mind as I talk today. What is the climate of the Toastmasters meeting in CSX Club? Is it 20% of the people doing 80% of the work, or each and every one of you setting goals, working toward those goals, raising your hand to fill roles, and being an active part of making the CSX Toastmasters Club a great club to be a part of? Are each of you doing your part to reach across the aisle at your cubicles or in your office or in the hallways or in the lunchroom to invite somebody out to Toastmasters? Are you saying, hey, we had a great time today at Toastmasters? Or you hear somebody who maybe, or you see someone in a meeting who may be holding their head down a little or not too vocal about speaking their opinion, and you feel they have something valuable to contribute to your project. Maybe you lean over after the meeting and say, hey, I'm a part of Toastmasters. I believe Toastmasters can help you find your voice. So just kind of reflect within and evaluate the climate of your club. Are you a part of the 20% who motivate and inspire? In the secretary training we had this weekend, one of the questions was asked, what's the most challenging situation you faced in trying to get somebody to join your club or be a part of your club? And the response was, well, honestly, Toastmasters is something that comes from within. Being a Toastmaster is something that comes from within. Each and every person sitting in this room, each and every person in my club or any other club in our area, all the way to the district governor who's over everything in the state, have decided at some point they wanted to be better. They wanted to be better either at speaking, they wanted to be better in a leadership role, or they wanted to be just a better overall individual. I'm guilty of this. I wanted to be a better communicator overall because I know communication is the key to success. How many married folk do we have in here today? Okay, when you got married, you know, people usually always give you a bunch of advice at your wedding. You know, your uncles or aunties or somebody who's been married a long time, and some of them are even divorced. I don't know why they bothered to, you know, say, oh, let me tell you what didn't work for me. I guess that's good advice too. So, but they always tell you communicate, communicate, communicate. Communication is the key to a successful marriage. Well, how do you get better at communication? In a marriage situation, I guess it's forced sometimes. You have to communicate, and if you don't, things start going bad, and then you don't want to be married anymore. But in the workplace, communication leads to success. I heard a comment this weekend, and I've put it in my toolbox of comments to regurgitate. I said communication leads to understanding, and through understanding we find the pathway to peace. I thought that was so profound. It was simple yet profound. So each and every one of us have taken on this role to become a Toastmaster so we could better ourselves in some way, either whether that's through communication or leadership. And I just encourage you all to evaluate the climate of where you stand toward reaching that goal. Are you a part of the 20% that's making it happen for CSX Club? Or are you a part of the 80% who's just enjoying the labor of the 20%? Ask yourself that question. Are you a part of the 20% who is working toward the goal of becoming a better you? Some of the ways that Toastmasters outline for the program to run, what makes a club successful, they found, is when each individual takes the time to prepare before a meeting. Preparation is the key to success. I don't care what anybody else tells you. You can go through 1,000 different business theories, and I've seen a lot of them. If you're prepared, it's as simple as that. And I tell this to my children. If you're prepared for no matter what it is, you stand a good chance of succeeding at it, if you're prepared. So I ask you today, something to reflect on as well. Do you prepare for your speeches? Do you take time to go through the speech project manual, find out what you're supposed to be talking about and how it's to be done, and then execute down the road that the manual guides you down? One of the things that I love about Toastmasters is, well, it's really the clapping. I like to. No, all jokes aside, seriously, one of the things I love about Toastmasters is the manual. Whether you are a guest or a seasoned Toastmaster, a DTM, the Toastmaster manual will tell you exactly what you need to do for every single role, every single position. If you're a guest today, by the end of this week, you can know everything you need to do to be president. All you have to do is pull out the Toastmasters Leadership Manual, and it tells you in a clear outline what you need to do as a club president. What you need to do as a secretary or VPE is all in the manual. And following the manual helps ensure quality programming in your club. And quality programming helps deliver a quality experience for those who join your club. And all these are little tidbits in the formula for club success and club growth. Having a successful club where people can become better people, better communicators, or better leaders. What you joined for, you can actually get it out of this club when your club functions well. The last point I want to make before I close is that dynamic leaders reside in 20%. Dynamic leaders reside in the 20% that I mentioned today. Dynamic leaders succeed incrementally through good habits, and those good habits are done daily. Did you know if you read 5 pages a day out of a book, you could finish about 6 300-page books in a year? Just incremental discipline. Keep a book, sit beside your bed, read 5 pages before you go to bed, and you'll find that you can accomplish 6 books in a year. So that's the type of incremental discipline that you can set to help achieve your goals as individuals and as a club. And I want to close with just a challenge to all of you to step up if you're not, to evaluate yourself and step up and be a part of that 20% that gets 80% of the work done. And if you're already a part of the 20%, step up again and join the 5% of the people who actually run the world. I challenge you to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving me time on the agenda. I really appreciate it. Judy, I'll now turn it back over to you.
Thank you.